Yo, I'm Akash from Today's a Movie. I'm gonna break down this effect. Let's not waste any time, let's hop right into it. So I already have this effect built out. There are certain tutorials where I will build it out first and then I'll kind of reverse engineer it so I'm not wasting time. So let me just show you what this original clip looks like. Let me make some space here. I'm gonna put this over here. So obviously I just pretend like I'm lifting my car and I crush it and I do this like crushing thing and I pretend I teleport out. And then I run off the screen. Why'd I run like that? And then I get a empty clip of just the car. Okay, so real quick, before we get even deeper into this, I have a community where I break down tutorials like this. You get live weekly calls with me. And a lot of people ask me, how do you do this full time? One thing you can remember is you could use this knowledge that you have for VFX for your clients and help them get results. So how do you get more clients? How do you get reoccurring clients? How do you get on the phone and sell a big content package? If you want to learn about camera, editing, lighting, I have a full classroom on just that. All right, let's get back to this. A lot of my recent videos are showing you guys how to use modern tools with full control. So what I did was I took a screenshot of the empty background. This next part might be confusing. Basically, just go to Higgsfield, go to Nano Banana Pro, upload your screenshot, and tell it what you want. First, I changed my license plate. So the license plate should say the word movie. Change the license plate to movie in the same Illinois plate font color to look like a real plate. So it kept everything the same, but it just changed my license plate. So then I put that back into Higgsfield. It took a few prompts, but basically I'm telling it to move the car straight up vertically in the frame as is, okay? So then it lifted it straight up, but it centered it. And from what you can remember, I was about right here, right? So I had to manually move it. I had to mask it out and move it to the left. So boom, this is the image. And then I wanted it to stay in the same spot, but look completely crushed. So I put it back into the Higgsfield website, but I'm using Nano Banana. Just wanted to clarify that. So then it created this image, okay? And then I also got one with the headlights off, and we'll talk about why I did that as well. Then you can go to video. Let's go to Kling 3.0, and I use start and end frames to create the transition. So that's one way to do it. You could put your first frame at the start frame, and then your second frame at the end frame, and press generate and let it create that transition. And then you could do it again with the car already in the air and it crushes. So the car in the air being the start frame and the crush being the end frame. I also wanted to try this with InVideo. InVideo is like Claude, but for video. Really, really cool tool. So I just put in all 3 pictures in InVideo and it created this. That's the video it created. You could literally talk to it back and forth and tell it that you didn't like it and it'll recreate it. So for example, I told it there should be no glass or debris, it should just crack cleanly. Is there any way we could make the car on the ground lift and crack all in one video? Also, you make the camera shake, it should not shake. It should be static and I'll add the shake in manually. So you're talking to this agent and it's helping you create this composition. It's really, really cool. So what I did was the last clip, I just went ahead and downloaded it. Okay, here it is, boom, and then crack, okay? So now the video under it is me lifting it up, crack. Obviously this is really slow. Like you can tell that this is really, really slow, but let's just draw a mask around it anyways. Let's see what this looks like. So I'm gonna do B-spline, draw a mask, B-spline, let's draw a mask around it. I'll add a basic color grade to the clip under it, the same color grade that I took a screenshot in. So boom, that's a little bit better. Let's add a little bit of a feather. Boom. So when I crush, obviously it takes a second, right? So let's mid-air, let's speed up the clip a little bit. Let's do fast ×2. It's like a few frames off for when I do the crushing movement. So let's speed that up even more. The minute the car crushes is right about there. So let's speed this up. I don't know, maybe ×4. Let's see what that looks like. Boom. Okay, we gotta obviously move the mask. So do you guys see how this seam, it becomes like the color changes, and this is the problem with, like, do you see how it's pink? So what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna add a color wheels, and let's add a keyframe to the color wheel. And right when you see that it's changing, let's scroll down and tint it more green and a little bit more blue, just so it can go all the way so you could see like the difference. I think in my original one, I feathered it like better. Like you can't really tell. You know what I mean? I feathered it way better in the original. But you get the point of how I did this. So let's go back to the original now, and let me just show you how I spiced it up a little. I got a few assets from Production Crate. So I got this sand. I got this smoke, poof. The main smoke for the car when it cracks. So poof, you could see that. And I got these small lightning assets that I just kind of sprinkled on the car. So they're called Thor Lightning Arc 14, Thor Lightning Human Arcs 5. It's really easy. All I did, I just changed the scale and put it over the car. Put it in the screen blend mode, turned it down a little bit. Pretty much all I did. The screenshot of the headlight, I just drew a mask and put it over so it looks like the headlight flickers a little bit. Yeah, this is that sand asset that... One thing that we need to figure out though is this shadow just disappears. So let's make a shadow together. So what I'm gonna do for that is I'm going to add a solid black image. Let's put it over everything, okay? And let's lower the opacity by like 45. Sure, that's fine. Let me disable this. This is just, you could see the whole frame pans backwards. It's just a keyframe on a scale. And let me kind of just copy what the shadow looked like. So we're gonna draw a mask around the same shadow of the car. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. I know it looks goofy as hell, but we're gonna add some Gaussian blur to it, and you could already see that it's looking good. We're gonna put it under everything, I think. No, we have to put it above that one. It's gonna have to be darker than that. It's gonna have to also be kind of longer. There you go. Okay, so you could see that the sun is casting a shadow kind of diagonal this way. So what we're gonna do is we're going to match the movements of the car floating. So we're gonna add a keyframe on top of everything. And let's go to the very top of it. And let's change the scale. And also the rotation a little bit. Okay, press done. It's getting there, but it's too dark still, right? Okay, then let's add a keyframes to the opacity, and let's go all the way to where it lands at the top, and let's really turn it down, guys. Because that way we can kind of hide that it's not perfect. It's not a perfect shadow, but it gives the illusion, it sells the illusion correctly. So let's see what this looks like. Not bad, huh? There's already this pre-existing shadow. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. We could just mask around it and clean it up, but I'm not going to. I'm going to see if anyone even notices on IG. I think it could be even less dramatic, honestly, because I don't love it. It's not perfect. In my experience, you have a lot of projects, you have a lot of client work. Like I'm not gonna go crazy over this detail. It's as long as like when you see it at first, it looks real. That's what matters. Let's even go to 12. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that way more. And then there's one more movement that happens that I want to just, let's add. I made a cut. Let's add another keyframe. And the card kind of leans forward a little bit. Go until it stops, which is right about there. So let's make this also lean, just a slight tilt. And let's add a keyframe back. Raise the opacity slightly more because it comes closer to the camera. So, I mean, dude, let's call it, baby. That was so good. It looks amazing. I love it. I really hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something new that you didn't know before you clicked this video. That's what matters to me. I know maybe I didn't touch on every single detail on this, but you have a general idea of how I created this and how it's not just I'm pressing create and I'm uploading something that I made from Higgsfield or in video. No, I'm really going in there. I'm fine tuning the details. Yo, before I upload this tutorial, I just wanted to show you the sound design and how many different sounds I'm actually using. I'm even like for this car horn, for example, I even pitched it down to kind of make it seem like the car is braking. And when it's tilting, I'm adding that metal wooden creaking sound. So yeah, sound design is huge. If you guys don't have any subscriptions, hit up freesound.org. It needs to look like a movie, whether I've used 3D modeling tools, you could use Higgsfield, you could use After Effects, you could use Final Cut. I edit my commercial projects on DaVinci. Whatever you're using, it needs to feel real. It needs to feel. The audience needs to feel something from it. That's why we create. Again, guys, if you have specific questions and you want to talk to me, you want to hang out with me, you want to be in a community full of other creatives who are on the cutting edge of these new tools, and if you want to make a living doing this stuff, I really highly recommend, man, checking out my school community. And I love you guys, bro. I'll see you guys there. Peace.